Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 97 of Six Figure Live. My name is Ben Hartley with Story Creative and Six Figure Photography, as always. And I'm coming to you guys from my dining room. Yeah, dining room. I'm in kind of the painting studio area here, and so it's gated off. So that way my little 2-year-old baby doesn't get into oil paints. You guys, thank you so much for joining. Let me steady the camera down here again. Amy Plum, what's up, girl? You guys, thank you so much for joining. I apologize. Yesterday I was not able to get a live episode up to you because, look, I've told you guys this in the past. We are running a full-time studio. And some days, like things just happen and we have to put out fires and get things done. And so I apologize. Yesterday I was not able to come live to you guys. So I do apologize. Thank you for your grace. But I'm here today. I was like, look, I got to make sure I get Q&A Friday out for you guys. If this is your first time joining, okay, Ryan, Victoria, what's up, you guys? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for saying hi. Leave a thumbs up. Throw some hearts out there. Drop a line. You can leave comments, and that's what I love about this. One of the main reasons I do this is so that way I can actually connect with you guys, chat, talk, interact in some way, shape, or form. I freaking live for that. So make sure you say things and stuff. It is Q&A Friday, and so this is your opportunity. Kara, what's up, girl? This is your opportunity to ask questions, to kind of pick my brain a little bit. The other main goal of this, oh man, this cold is just gonna kill me here. The other main goal of this is to get inside my head a little bit and to help to give you guys some inspiration, some direction, some kick in the ass for your week, for your day, for your year, and to help move things forward for you guys. Look, I don't have all the answers. But I've kind of gone through a lot, and I want to help to explain the failures that have gotten to me to where I am today, the successes that have helped get me to where I am today, and the things that I'm currently doing and working on. And so what this looks like, Q&A Friday, by the way, the way this looks is I get emails all the time, literally every single day. Interaction between you guys. And so if you email me, I'll get back to you, I promise. And one of the things that I'm always wondering is what's one of the biggest challenges that you currently face? And rather than just emailing that one individual back, I would much rather discuss it with everyone here, because my guess is if you have that one challenge, that there's a whole lot of other people that are currently experiencing it, have experienced it, or will experience it. And so that's what Q&A Friday is to address those challenges and to allow me to give my own perspective and opinion on it, and for you guys to take bits and pieces of it, take what you like, ignore the rest, and grow your business, right? That's the goal. So without further ado, we're going to jump in. By the way, eggnog is a terrible thing to drink when you have a head cold. This is a really bad idea. You guys, I'm super excited. Abundance, maximizing joy, meaning, and profits starts this weekend. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we've got 12 photographers coming in from all over the country, flying in, driving in. We've got a couple locals. And I'm so freaking excited about it, so I can't wait. We kick it off. Miller's is sponsoring our welcome party. We're going to have a dinner at a nice little French restaurant, La Chantelane. We're going to go bowling. Winner of the bowling match is going to be walking away with one of a free Miller signature album. So anyhow, I'm super excited about it. It's going to be so freaking incredible. I actually just got... I've got all these totes for everyone that B and I stuffed last night. We got a few more things to put in there. So anyhow, I can't wait. If you're coming to Abundance this year, I can't wait to meet you guys in person. Okay, enough of that. Let's jump in and start asking questions. We've had a ton of questions that have hit my inbox already, and then we also have these nice live questions down here. So let's jump right in. Let's start with a live question. Carolyn, hey girl, thanks for asking. Let's see what you said. Kara says this: you mentioned failures. Brilliant. How many times did you have to rework your contract? You're going to tell me it's continuous change, aren't you? So Kara, yes. I am going to tell you it's continuous change. Look, I fully believe in thrashing. I fully believe in doing and taking action and continually getting better. You can always improve. That being said, our contract has gone through a number of iterations, but the contract is a little bit different though, because as you say contract, I'm thinking legal contract. I'm not thinking collections and prices and packages, right? And so from a legal standpoint, I would encourage you to get the contract done right the first time, which means this: no Google BSing for wedding photography contract and then ripping someone else's that you don't know if it's legit or not. If there's anything that you should probably spend a little up front, work with someone who will actually draft up. Who, even if you have one that exists, that'll be great. They can review it and give you improvements. It'll probably be a couple $100. Just go and do it. You could also go check out Rachel Brenke, the Law Tog. I've got a link. Maybe I'll drop down for you guys, and you could get one of her contracts. When you do that, though, just so you know, she's not your lawyer, but she is someone who's put together a legal document that you're going to want to look into. Look, this year we actually just had our own lawyer review and redo our whole contract. So our whole contract just got redone, actually, like last week, and it's just better. It's tidier. It makes me feel good now that we're continuing to grow to see that it's in a really good place. So great question, girl. I appreciate you asking, Kara. Ryan says, Nog, yes. Scott says this, I've got a question. So I shoot with a second shooter quite a bit, and the post is a headache. You're talking about like the editing, the post work is a headache. Once you get the images into Lightroom, what is a good way to blend both first shooter's images and, wait, I gotta see more, where'd it go? Wait for it, I gotta find it. Okay, what's a good way to blend both first shooter's images and the second shooter's images? I've been exporting them into Bridge and then blending them manually. What are your thoughts? I think I get what you're saying, but I'm not really sure. When you say blend, are you talking about syncing back up your cameras? Is that what you mean by blend, or are you talking about color correcting? You're talking about calling, like sorting through them? Look, your cameras, even if you're working with a second shooter that isn't in sync with you, you can resync those cameras inside of Lightroom or inside of Photo Mechanic. I think Lightroom's, I like using Lightroom more to, as you say, blend. I think that's what you're getting at, Scott. But there's a whole step-by-step process that I go over in my Lightroom editing course. And maybe, if that's what you mean, maybe I'll drop in and I'll dedicate an episode to that. But it's super technical and I can't like go through it right now. But if you're talking about that, you can sync your cameras in post later. Okay, Scott says this. Okay, Kara, yay. Haha, you mean no writing your own? Yeah, definitely don't write your own contract, you guys. Okay, cool. Mike agrees, the Law Tog. Raymond, hey, what's up? Raymond says this, what's the first step for a beginner who is good with the camera but doesn't know how to get to the next level? The first step with what, I guess, would be my next question, Raymond. Like, what are you struggling with? What do you need? Is it clients? Is it packages? Is it pricing? Recognize the weaknesses, the places that you have to grow. Identify the people who have gone before you and then learn from them. My guess is, what's the first step for a beginner who's good with the camera but doesn't know how to get to the next level? Are you talking about camera techniques? I mean, man, just like shoot. There's nothing better that you can do than actually go out and shoot and actually get like behind the camera. Just keep shooting everything and everything. Ashley says this, yes, that's what I meant. That's what he means, syncing. So there you go. See, there's an exact way. You can probably Google it, how to sync in Lightroom. There's a really efficient way to do it. Victoria says this, how many images do you put in the album you include in your wedding package? Great question, Victoria. So our starting packages for the last few years have included minimum of 30 pages. I've discovered that for every spread, that it equals about 2.5 images. So if there's 30 pages, that's 15 spreads. Let's pull up my handy dandy calculator. 15 spreads times 2.5. Let's see here. Someone's going to beat me to the math. I just know it. Roughly about 37 and a half images. That's the finalized album. What we typically do, though, is design albums that are much larger than what the final album will be. Okay, cool. Amy says this, the Lightroom editing course is awesome. What up? Super glad you're enjoying it, Amy. Appreciate it, girl. Mike, hey, man. Hey, Ben, can you quickly go over how you conduct your face-to-face meetings with a client? Can I quickly go over it? Look, no, I can't. I'll try to, like, be brief with you, Mike. But, like, this is what abundance is. You guys, Abundance Maximizing Joy, Meaning, and Profits is a workshop that I do once a year, maybe twice a year. Anyhow, it's this weekend. But like one of the greatest things about it and one of the big takeaways is we actually will hold a live pre-consultation meeting for all the students to see exactly how it goes. And look, man, it's like 2 hours long. And so for me to go through every single step and talk about every choice I make and all the inflections and all of the things that are going on, the nuances, so much of it's the nuances. Man, I guess, Mike, to answer your question, the first entire half of that time together, we're not talking about photography. So we spend probably about 45 minutes not jumping into photography at all, but going through really trying to understand who they are, why they love each other, what makes them click, and there's a whole process that we take through that. And then we finally will get into, and by the way, that whole process too allows us to understand what they actually care about, what they actually want. So when it comes time to talk about photography, I'm able to direct the conversation in a way that supplies real value to them and positions our brand in a way that really connects to what it is that they're looking for. Dude, I guess I can't. Within a Q&A Friday, it's hard for me to go over everything that we do in a face-to-face meeting with a client. I apologize, Mike. There's just isn't not enough time, man. Priscilla, what's up, girl? Priscilla says this: I'm just starting my business. You could say, oh, you're just starting your business. You could say, what did you do to get more clientele? I have a Facebook page and another website to showcase some of my work. Do you have any advice as to how to approach this? Yeah, so you just started your business and you need to get more clients. Look, Facebook page is like bare minimum, and another website to showcase some of my work. Yes, website minimum. Look, one of the number one things you should be doing is photographing everyone and anyone that you possibly can. Right now, you have a ton of time, you have very little portfolio, and you have very little money. And so, ton of time, little money means you shoot freaking everyone. So you start talking to friends, family, you start calling up vendors, you start doing shoots for free, you start talking to people at your church. You just need to be creating work left, right, and center and letting people know that you're doing it. It's going to do a few things for you. One is it's going to build your portfolio. Two is it's going to make you a better shooter. You're going to get to practice. Three, it's going to it's hustle. It's just work, but it's actually going to start to if you create great work and if you actually give a damn about people, it's going to start to resonate with individuals and they're going to start to talk about it. Right? This is how you jumpstart word of mouth, is you just start actually creating work, and eventually there's going to come a time when you're going to have very little time because you've been shooting all this time, but you're going to start to have a lot of money. And now a transition can begin to happen. But that's honestly my best, my number one advice is just if you're just getting started and you don't have any work, well, God, just start shooting. Just start trying to find as much work as possible, as many people to shoot as you possibly can. Jamie Schneider's in the house. What's up, my man? Dude, if you guys don't know Dark Rue, you probably do, actually. You just forgot. But Jamie and Heather are freaking amazing photographers, really, really incredible people that you should go check out their work. You should actually just leave this and go check out Dark Rue. They've got a really great studio as well. Dude, so glad to see you, man. Raymond says this, right on, self-awareness. That's what's up, man. Catherine says this: how do you guys blog and do in-person sales? Do you just blog after the sales session? Bingo, Catherine. Look, it's like this. If you were to go to, have you been to one of those frozen yogurt places, right? You go to a froyo shop and they give you those little dinky cups and you can get as much free frozen yogurt as you possibly want. And at the end, you get the big thing that you then fill up and you take it and they weigh it and it costs like $15 more than you thought it was going to cost. Okay, so you're with me, right? You're tracking. Alternatively, we could talk about appetizers at a restaurant, right? Every time, pardon, man, it's cold. If you were to go to a restaurant, if you were to go to a frozen yogurt place, and they kept giving you samples, and they kept giving you appetizers, I'm talking like 10, 15 appetizers, 20 appetizers, 30 samples of frozen yogurt, and you enjoy it all, and then they come by and they say, perfect, what would you like to order for your meal? You're full. You don't need a meal. You're not getting anything. You might get like a side salad, right? This is what happens when you put up a full blog post of 30, 40, 50 images, you guys, before the client sees their pictures for the final time, before they come in for a print session, before they come in for an album sales session. They've experienced all of those amazing images and they've lived with them. They've been like their Facebook cover picture, their profile picture. They've sent them out to friends and family, and they don't have any interest in buying them. Every time you give someone a photograph and you put it out there into the world before the premiere date, it's like a sample. And so you save the blog post, a full blog post, an extended blog post, until after the client actually gets their pictures. And you know what? I know it's hard. Like, we all want the likes. We all want that gratification of like being liked and our work being appreciated and people being like, oh my God, you're such a great photographer. I get that. Like, that is That is so fulfilling, and it's so great to have that immediate gratification. But do you know what else is also really satisfying? Like making $1,000 in post sales. Like that's also really freaking satisfying. So there you go. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. Kara says, this comment, not a question. Your advice on working for free. This makes me so happy. I've been doing this for years, and I feel like I have to get back into shooting more often for free. Kara, that's great. I love that you're shooting for free, but I'm slightly concerned that you've been doing it for years. Hopefully you're also shooting for money too, right? Again, there comes that time when there should be a little bit of that tipping point. And again, personal work is amazing. I fully believe in personal work. Keep doing personal work. Okay, cool. Jamie's blushing over there. You can't eat yogurt. Hold on one second. Can't eat yogurt. Dairy allergies. Look, go back to my appetizer example then. Okay, Catherine says this. So then the blog post isn't really for the client. It's for the next one, right? Well, yes and no. I mean, exactly. Like what's... there's so much behind that question that a lot of people, it's going to go over their head because look, the very first time my client sees their pictures, I don't want to see them in a blog post. So many of you are being like, oh, I make a blog post for my client. I consider that a disservice if you're making a blog post for your client because they're in Target behind some asshole who's taking up all their damn time and they get a Facebook message that tagged them and they're like, oh my God, a blog post of all my images, and they're pissed off and the person in front of them is annoyed and they get in a traffic accident because you can't, like, I don't want my clients to see the pictures for the first time in an environment that is out of my control. I want them to have the most amazing experience possible, to put them in the right frame of mind, and I want to see the joy on their face when they see their pictures for the first time, and I want everything to be perfect, right? So yeah, I actually view it as for my client to not see them in some blog post in some environment that I don't think is the best situation for it. And so I guess that's my answer there. And look, the blog posts are for SEO. It's for SEO, right? It's for SEO. That's the answer to that one. Kara, yes, glad you agree. Hey, Justin, what's up, my man? Dude, Justin, I'm wearing your E plus R equals O band. I got to give a quick shout out to my friend and one of our grooms, Justin. He hooked me up with this wristband, E plus R equals O, because I was talking about the other day, only because Justin introduced me for it. It's, look, the environments in your life plus the response that you have equals the outcome. We all have a response to things in our lives. Okay, cool. Let's keep moving. Man, I'm not going to get to any of the pre-asked questions because I got all these amazing live ones. That's all right with me. Priscilla says this: I think it's better to tease the client just to make them want to buy the album. LOL. So look, it's we still put out some images, right? We'll put out 1 or 2, tops 3 images as like a first look. Brooke, Ben, I really enjoy your podcast. How do you make friends with other high-end photographers that run their business in the same way as you? You connect, like you ask, you talk to them. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Like, I think it's a few things. One is it's just being real. It's being a real person. Like step 1. Number 2 is showing up with 51% of the value. So not showing up and going to them and trying to take something from them, but showing up right off the bat and being able to deliver some sense of value to them. And people are really basic. Like, people are so freaking basic. Like, I mean this with true intent. Like it's probably just like Facebook messaging them and giving them a compliment. Just being like, hey, I see the way you run your business. I think it's really, really freaking rad. Like, the last blog post that you put up was dope. And I think I relate in a lot of ways. I'd love to send you a book that I've been reading that I think you might enjoy. What's your address? Right? Like, people are basic. Like, you send me that email and I send an address and then a box shows up on my doorstep in a week. I'm going to be your BFF. Right, Brooke? Like, I mean, more or less. Like, but like, it's just that. Just, and ask. Like, if you don't actually put yourself out there, like, you're just going to get a no and no one's going to connect with you. So, that's, I guess, maybe that's my short answer, Brooke. Raymond, how would you recommend showing clients their photos if you don't have the sweet studio y'all got? Dude, right, Raymond, you've never seen our studio, my man. And before this year, we never had a studio. Every single client came over to our 1-bedroom apartment, eventually our 2-bedroom apartment, eventually our 2-bedroom apartment with a dog and a crying newborn baby in it, right? Like, Raymond, you don't need some like dope studio. Like, our studio is actually You guys, it's actually just like this, like it's a janky office building. It's not like some like sweet building with the exposed brick and like 20-foot like tall windows and like wood floors. No, it's like drop ceilings, like this real shitty airport carpet, a ton of like office like spaces all over the place. Like, but we make do. And dude, you make do, man. Like, have people come over to your space. Again, like I think I would recommend you doing that rather than trying to meet people at Panera or Starbucks or anything. So have people come over to your house, man. That's it. That's my answer. Jamie, freaking truth bombs, boom. Scott, yeah, I think syncing is what I was talking about. Getting all the images in the right order. Yeah, syncing all your images, man. So here's what you're gonna do. Quick little side conversation on syncing images in Lightroom. Go to the library module. This is like work with me here. Track with me. Go to the Lightroom module. Press the backslash key. It's going to drop down a set of. I'm doing this all without looking at Lightroom, so it's all in my head. Library module. Press the backslash key. You're going to click on metadata. You're going to view. You can sort your images by camera serial number because you may have both shot on the same 5D Mark or a 5D Mark III, so you need to go to serial number so it separates it. Choose the first person serial number. Go ahead and line up your shots to the first kiss because you probably both shot that. Mark that picture purple. Go back to the library, tilde or backslash key again. Highlight the other serial number, right? Go to that first kiss. Mark that one purple. Back to the library module. In the metadata, you can see the timestamp that one was shot at. Write it down. Man, go back to the other camera, Command A on all the pictures, but having the one that was purple highlighted, which means it's going to be a little bit more white. The others will be grayed, but also highlighted. Then go up to File, Metadata, Adjust Time, and then put in the other camera's time that you wrote down. Press Enter. Boom. They're all going to be the same. Okay, sorry. That's gonna be really confusing unless you actually like have Lightroom open. Let's keep going. Justin, yeah, I noticed that. Looks good, man. Dude, thanks, man. Okay, Raymond, jokes, it's great. There is a sweet ping pong table. Love your terminology. In home, got it. Catherine says this. When you do premieres, do you present the images chronologically? Catherine, when we do premieres, we don't present the images chronologically. We present the images narratively, which oftentimes is chronologically, but not always, right? What I'm talking about is I'm actually talking about presenting the images in a narrative format in a pre-designed album layout. They're not seeing their images in some slideshow. I think that the slideshow is great from a portfolio standpoint. We get to see like one wow image, one wow image, one wow image, but that's not a wedding day. A wedding day isn't a collection of 15 badass images. A wedding day is a story, and so I want each spread, each section of images to tell the story of their day in a narrative format. And once again, that's not always chronologically, right? A lot of times we're ending the wedding, the album, that story in a very not this big epic dramatic way, but oftentimes in a very much more like quiet kind of like resolution. And sometimes that's pulling an image from earlier in the day that gives that feeling of resolution. And so it's not always chronological, but it is always narrative because that has the most power. If you want to connect with people on an emotional level, if you want people to respond emotionally to your pictures, then you need to start telling stories. Okay, cool. Jessica, what's up, Jessica Dobbs? Jessica says this, can you share the studio software you use for your reveal sessions? You better believe I can, Jessica. So what we use for all of our premiere dates is a piece of software called Fundy. Now, Fundy is so freaking powerful, and they've just started doing some things that for a while weren't even available, but I was still kind of like hacking it to do what I wanted it to do anyhow. Fundy is primarily an album. It's known for being an album design software, right? It's how you design your albums. But I've since like day one used Fundy as a way to not just design my albums, but to show our clients the whole pictures, to show them that narrative format, and then to also sell within Fundy. You can also sell within Fundy, and so that's what we use. It's dope. It's awesome. Apart from Lightroom, there's no more important software in our entire company than Fundy. We couldn't run without it. That's all I gotta say. Okay, cool. Victoria says this: when you have clients out of town book you, how do you do the meetings for the premiere sessions of the images? Look, this is really common for us, right? We're having clients all the time that are coming to Columbus, Ohio for a destination, or we're going somewhere else for a destination. So there's an entire system that we have, and I'll say this, like it's 2017, we have like technology like mad. I'm not just talking about Skype and FaceTime, because one of the problems when you start trying to premiere and show images through Skype or FaceTime is the internet may give you problems and it might cut out, and it can be a real crummy situation, or it might not be super clear as you're trying to show images through screen share. So we screen share with our clients that are out of town, but we're not doing it. We're keeping them on the phone. Let me back up. We use a piece of software that only screen shares. You can't talk with it. So I'm literally just screen sharing with them. And then I'm on the phone, and because I'm on the phone, if the internet cuts out, still have communication here, and I can troubleshoot with them. The other thing is, because it's solely dedicated just to screen sharing, it does it perfectly. There's no issues. It's not trying to be the jack of all trades, master of none. It just does that one thing really well, and the images go across really cleanly. There you go. Jackie McPig Sites is in the house. That's my mother-in-law. What up, mother-in-law? Let's keep going. Kara says this: what is your worst experience with an upset client? Humor me, because I just had the worst experience of my life. Kara, let's start by talking about this for a hot second. Like, yes, we are photographers, and we have such a personal business going on, right? We take everything so damn personally because that's like, we're a service-based industry. We're relating to our couples. A lot of us are solopreneurs. It's just us, and we feel like when something goes wrong in the business, it feels like a direct, almost like attack on us, and we take it so harsh, right? I know there's someone out there who's like had that negative review or a negative thing said about them, and they couldn't get out of bed for like 3 days. I know what's happened, right? I totally get it, and so. The thing you have to understand is, as a business owner, like, you're a business owner. Yes, you're a photographer and you're an artist and you're a service individual, but like, you're a business owner. Like, you will not be able to make everyone happy. There's going to come a time where you're going to upset someone, and it might not even be your fault. It might just be that they had a real shit day, and they happen to look back at their pictures and they were like, "Where's the picture of my dog walking down the aisle?" Like, I'm super pissed at Kara now. And they might, like, it's like, things happen. And so one of the worst experiences that I've had, there's been a couple, right? They're like not everything is rainbows and sunshine. One of the worst experiences was actually post-wedding. We did an amazing job for the bride. And then a year later, her sister came to hire us and then canceled the wedding. And it became a whole big mess. And I guess I don't even want to like go into more detail of it. It just became a whole big mess because she canceled the wedding, and then went a little nuts and started throwing every vendor that she hired under the bus in a really dramatic way. And sometimes the best thing you can do is just move forward, not say anything, and go make your favorite beverage, eggnog in the situation, gulp it down, and then move on, because like, you can't sweat the small stuff. Let's keep going. Okay. Dan, what's up, Dan? Jamie, Fundy Strong. Absolutely. Jamie uses Fundy too. So, Jessica. So back to that question about like, one of the worst experiences. It's like, I also don't want to talk about it. Can we just go back to that for a hot second? I don't want to talk about the worst experiences. Look, like, shit happens in life. Damn, every single day. And I have no interest in reliving the past. I know, Kara, by the way, I'm not yelling at you, but I just want to get this out there. I don't want to complain. I effing hate complaining, and I don't want to think about the past. I don't want to think about all the things that could have been and should have been, and there's so much to be done, and I have zero time for it. I have zero patience for it. It does no one any good, and so I always tell myself this. When this is what you should tell yourself, by the way, Kara. When you have the worst experience with a client that you've ever had, when the shit hits the fan and they're mad at you and they've left you a terrible review and they want their money back, I want you to recognize the fact that happened. I want you to mourn for 10 seconds, 5 effing seconds, and I want you to look yourself in the mirror and say, Kara, worse things have happened to better people. worse things have happened to better people, and then go and move on and conquer the effing world, right? Like, look, I'm not telling you that worse things have happened to better people because I don't know what's going on in your world. I don't know what you've been through in life, but I can tell you this. When I look at my world and I look at my life, I know that there are far greater people in the world that have had far worse things happen to them. So how dare I be upset that my iPhone 6 Plus screen just broke, or that some client canceled their wedding and they want $500 back, right? Shame on me. Worse things have happened to better people. Go forward and conquer the world, right? That's the way I view things. All right, let's keep going. Catherine says this: Sue Bryce does a reveal wall where she prints 30 of her favorite images so that the client can bring something home the day of the premiere. Have you ever done something like that? Catherine, that's I love that. I love that. I love that because I love print. I love that because I love print. And Sue Bryce is an incredible photographer. And so one of the things that we do is for every premiere day, we have a giclée. It's a Hahnemuhle German etching paper, fine art print that's already framed and sitting out for them as they walk into the premiere day. And so they already have a framed piece of artwork to take home that day. But I love what she's doing with it. She's also doing more portraits. So it's a great technique for portraits. Jessica says this: just had that this month, Bridezilla of Doom. So glad to be done with her, but responded professionally the entire time. Yay, us. Here's what I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what not to do. The one thing not to do is when something goes wrong, God, do not go online. Do not talk about it. Don't go into some Facebook group and vent about a situation that you've had. That's the absolute last thing that you should do. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with my ranting there. Okay, Kira says this: I need the truth so bad. Thanks, buddy. Super cool. All right, you guys. I got a ton of questions that I haven't even gotten to yet that hit my inbox, and so I'm gonna start to try to get through some of these. Let's do this. Okay, cool. Let's see, man. Which one do we even want to talk about first? There's like so many. Okay, here we go. This question came anonymously. This person says this: I'm 30 years old. I've enjoyed photography back when I developed my own images in the darkroom. Dude, I'm 30. Like, I guess I developed photographs for like a little bit. Like, anyhow, things have improved. I'm just wondering, do I even want to get into this business? Has photography improved that much? Do I want to be spending all my time editing? And I've heard clients are a pain. Dude, anonymous person that emailed me this question. If you are currently sitting at your computer, pontificating and thinking and stewing over, do I even want to get into this business? My answer to you is like that. That's the answer is no. Like, if you're like, it's a business. Like, if you're sitting there wondering to yourself, like, I wonder if I should actually do this. Like, you better be so freaking passionate and full of heart and life about photography and about serving people and clients. Because if you're not, you're going to get in 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years down the road and just be like hating it, right? And I don't want to see you in that situation. And so if you're literally sitting there wondering to yourself, should I don't know, it just looks like clients are a pain. It looks like there's a lot of editing involved. I don't know. Dude, then my advice is don't. If you're even having that thought, then it has disqualified you from pursuing it. I just think you're going to get yourself into a real crummy situation, man. So that's my answer to that. We had another question come through. Sir Charles Duckless, I love your name, man. Hey, I had a friend refer my service to one of her friends earlier this year, and they booked me. Super cool. Good job, man. I shot their wedding. Awesome. They were extremely happy with the service. Double awesome. Now so I had to reconnect. Okay, cool. Wow, dude, so much love. Okay, now my friend is getting married and would like to book me. I've been blessed to have more bookings, and as such, I've raised my prices. Should I offer her a discount or give her my new pricing? Whew. Also, the wedding is out of state. How do I incorporate that in my pricing? Answer what you can. Thanks. Sir Charles, a lot of people wrestle with this. A lot of people wrestle with this whole notion of like, well, I charged X for one client, and now I've raised my prices and they've referred someone to me, and so now what do I charge for that other person? Are they going to be upset that they didn't get the same rate? Look, man, I think that this too is like lots of friends, and so I think follow your gut on this. Like, if these are like super close friends, and I don't know, you like, it's your business. You can do whatever you want. What I would do and what I've continued to do in my business is I have no problem making our prices higher or lower in a given year. It's your business, and things change. And a lot of times too, like, we've never had any issue with this, by the way. But things change, and sometimes you need more bookings, or sometimes you're like completely booked up. It's supply and demand. As you get better, as you invest in yourself, you're going to start charging more. As you create better work, you should start charging more. As your expenses go up because you're doing more advertising and all this other stuff, you should probably start charging more. And just be okay with that. Just be okay with that. And so that all being said, look, if this is a close friend and you just want to like hook someone up, I would give her the original pricing that you gave the other friend. I don't know, man. It's a personal question, I guess. Let's see here. Should I offer her a discount or give her my new? Here's what I would do, man. So Charles, I'm not a big fan of discounts. I'm not a big fan of saying like, hey, we start at $4,000, but I'm going to give you $500 off because you came from a friend or something like that. I'm not a big fan of discounting your work, but I am a big fan of increasing the value as a gift, right? And say, hey, like book the wedding, man. But then like I want to give you a gift of an engagement session on us. That's what I'd love to do. Like, you came from a friend, and I'm super excited to shoot your wedding. Can I give you this gift? I want to give you a gift of an extra 2 hours of time on the day. I want to give you a gift of an extra second shooter on the day, right? And so I wouldn't go back and discount your prices. Instead, increase your value and do it as a gift. That's my advice to you. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. More questions here. This question comes from Sarah. Sarah says this: I'm really struggling with getting people to trust me with their money. That's a big problem, Sarah. Look, this is in regards to getting people to trust you with their money. It comes down to like, I guess ultimately we could talk about it from a scientific standpoint, a psychological standpoint, a standpoint of like influence. The short answer is this: like, getting people to trust you with their money reflects a lot back on how people interpret you, how people view you as a person. It's really helpful to understand how people actually view you. And if you're struggling with people to get you to trust you with their money, they don't trust you. So how do they view you, right? And so there's a few things that you can do that will help to get people to trust you with their money. There's a few rules of influence I could talk about here. One is social proof, right? Like people will follow other people. And so this is social proof. This is why testimonials and reviews are so powerful. It's like the number one thing that you need for your business. You need 50 other brides that have gone before this other one saying 5 stars, yes, I would do it again, hands down. And then when Joe Schmo comes around and they're interested in hiring you, they now get to look at the social proof of everyone else who's done it and they've been happy. So you could try to increase your social proof. So this would be going back, getting reviews from past clients. This could be trying to generate some Facebook likes. You know, when you say, look, I got 10,000 people who like me on Facebook, that's saying something. So social proof, I think, is really critical. And so highlight those opportunities more. A really simple thing for social proof, by the way, when you're trying to get someone to actually trust you, is like, understand who's behind the main venues in your area. Does this make sense? For example, when someone comes into our wedding or into our studio and they tell us that they're going to get married at the Ohio State House, I get to say like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Sophie is going to take such great care of you there because I know Sophie. I know she's in charge of booking weddings at the Ohio State House, and that even right there is connecting me, and it's social proof. The next thing is you could do this, Sarah, is you could leverage trust through authority, right? This is the whole principle of like a doctor, right? If you're at a hospital and some dude in a t-shirt says, hey, I need you to leave the room, and then someone who comes in a lab coat says, hey, I need you to leave the room, who are you going to listen to, right? The person who looks to have a position of authority. And so you could try to position your brand, you could try to position yourself as one of a position of authority, right? And so talking about the most recent destination wedding that you just got back from, you could talk about going to WPPI and learning alongside some of the best photographers in the world. You could talk about those type of things. You talk about the awards that you've won. I just won 3 international Fearless Photography Awards. So those are things that you could be doing in regards to authority. The next one is this: you might just be not a likable person, and that's a bummer. But you can do things to be more likable. Number one is smile. Like, to smile a lot more. Like, these are like super base level psychological things. Use people's names. Like, understand their name up front and use their name continually. It's again, people are basic. It's like giving compliments, asking them more questions about themselves. Instead of trying to explain what you do and why you're special, try to understand what they do and what makes them special. And then I think people will start to like you and they'll start to trust you with their money. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. Catherine says this: who do you use to frame your prints? Catherine, Miller's does their own framing. They also do glass, and it's really affordable, and their shipping's on point, and their shipping time is on point. So Miller's, they're very normal. They're not going to get like real ritzy fancy frames. They're very modern, streamlined frames. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. The goodness. Joseph says this. One of my biggest struggles is, let's see, to not hold back and to create what is true to me and to find the brides that match with that. One of his struggles is he's trying to attract the right client, and yet he's really struggling with staying true to himself and creating the artwork that he wants to make for himself, and then trying to find the right brides that match it, rather than adjusting himself to fit that individual. Let's actually talk about this, because this has a lot to do with identifying your ideal client. I think there's a misconception in the industry that says, hey, look, when a client rolls up for your premiere day, or not for your premiere day, for your pre-consultation, when you go to meet with them for the first time, take a look outside the window and see what kind of car they're driving, what kind of purse is she carrying, what kind of shoes is she wearing, and look at this stuff, and you'll be able to, try to base off of like their budget, or I don't know, or like big ballroom weddings are going to have a higher budget than like your small backyard thing. And I think that's a misconception. I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think that there are clients who know what they want and are willing to spend the money to get exactly what it is. And those clients are out there literally for everyone. Like if you are someone who enjoys really offbeat, like tattooed weddings, then like there is someone out there who wants to hire that perfect photographer who's going to do that, and they're willing to pay the money. Even though it goes against all logic of like, well, they're not having this huge, $100,000 wedding, and they didn't wear Louis Vuittons to the meeting. And so I guess I would encourage you to do this, Joseph. Like, do you, man. Like, do you. Like, do it to the furthest degree. Actually, on this note, I had a podcast interview that I did with, let me pull it up real quick. I just blanked on the episode number. Let me pull this up, because we talked a lot about this in the podcast. So give me 1 second while I do this, and then I'm gonna be wrapping this up because I still got some stuff to do for abundance here. One moment. Sorry about the shaky cam while I'm doing this. Okay, it's coming. It's so close. It's like right around the corner. I'm almost there. Here we go. Episode 29. Joseph, go take a look at episode 29, where I talk to Ian Weldon about uncompromised creativity. This individual, he is so himself, and take a look at his work. That he's created a brand and this niche that attracts exactly who he needs to attract. So go take a look at that episode, man. Okay. Let's keep going. Catherine says this: who do you use to frame your... Oh, I already did that one. Got my samples back from Miller's last week. Love the recommendation you gave. Chelsea, that's awesome, girl. I'm so glad that you did. Shoot them a message. Say, hey, I found out about you from Ben Hartley, and then maybe they'll like me more. Okay, cool. I'm going to do one more question, and then I'm going to get things done. There's a lot to be done before abundance here. Okay, cool. This question comes from Junior. Junior says this: how do you feel about putting up prices on your website? Should it be done? Yes or no? I have people interested in family photos, but when they check my starting price, they say it's too much. Should I just take it down from my price? Should I just take it down from my website? Okay. Junior, there's a couple, everyone has this question, by the way, about when to display your pricing, when and how. And so I have twofold. I have two answers to this. The first thing is this: I don't think that you should put up all of your prices and all of your packages up online, but I do think that you should put up your starting price. Okay, put up your starting price, and this will help to filter people out. This will help to filter people out who just can't afford you at all. Like, don't waste your time. Now, that being said, maybe you should waste your time, and this is what I mean. If you have a ton of time and very little money, then maybe you should waste your time and you shouldn't put up your starting price, and you should talk to every single person that comes through your door, and you should learn to hear no a hell of a lot. And the reason why you should do this is because, number one, you're going to get better at explaining what you do. You're going to get better at talking on the phone because you're not going to be emailing these people, you're going to be calling them. So it's going to be practice, practice, practice. You're going to get better. You're going to start to understand people better. You're going to start to understand yourself better, understand your brand better, understand your value proposition better. And so if you've got a lot of time, then don't even put your starting prices up and start talking to every single person. And then when they tell you no, find out why they told you no. No one does that shit in this industry. Look, I learned a lot of what I do outside of the photography industry. And a lot of times, especially with consumer marketing, when we're talking about products, online content marketing, a lot of times a great thing to understand is why did someone tell you no? Why did they hire somebody else? And be willing to understand and listen to that and actually ask. And so the next thing is, when you take that down, if you've got all the time in the world, if you do your job well enough and you provide so much value up front that they are going to be caught off guard with the amount of value that you just delivered in a phone call to them, they might just hire you anyhow. Whereas initially on the website, if they just see the number and they look at your work and they're like, his work's pretty good, the number seems about average for, or maybe it's a little high for what I could get, because they don't understand the actual value that you have to offer. And so the opportunity for you to get on the phone and actually connect with them, and to explain that value with like value-driven paragraphs, may just be the thing. And again, if we're talking about having all the time in the world because you don't have clients, then what else? Then what else are you gonna do with that time? Like, go watch Netflix? I would encourage you. Then you should be wasting all your time talking to every single person who you possibly can. Jessica, wish me luck. Today is our second ever in-person reveal with a client. She's expressed interest in print, so hopefully we'll get the sale. Getting away from just sending digital files out. Love the videos; they help so much. Keep them coming, Jessica. I will keep them coming. Good luck, girl. You guys, thank you so much. There's so many questions that I didn't get a chance to answer, and so I'm going to try to. And there's probably going to be a few more Q&A episodes next week, not just Friday. Actually, next week is abundance. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm doing full day long workshops. When I say full day, by the way, when people come to abundance, I'm talking about like 9 a.m. to like 2 a.m. Okay, like we're going to be going hard for 3 straight days. And the way that we'll probably do Six Figure Live those days is I'll probably broadcast live to you guys part of the workshop, just like snippets. Maybe we'll come live for 10 minutes and you'll get to see me ranting and having a good time with everyone. So that's probably what we'll do. You guys, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for caring about your business, for asking questions, for being present, for working hard, for putting in the hours, for putting in the time, the hustle, the care, the heart, the love. Dude, that's how you win. Like, that's how you win. You got to show up. Okay, you guys, keep moving forward. Don't think about the past. Don't think about the failures. Don't think about the upset clients. Keep thinking about how you can continue to get better and improve clients' value, because I've said this so many times. Your salary, your income, how much you make as a photographer this year, next year, and down the road is a direct result to how well you serve your people. Just serve them well, man. Serve them well. Okay, love you guys. Cheers.